Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Those of you who are returning, hi, I hope you're doing well, as well as the new people. If you don't know, hi, I'm Kruz, aka Kruzadar. I hope you're doing fantastic. This is a little series we do once in a while, and I know I bumped it on the last Try Not to Laugh challenge video, but we do a little ask series. It's a little option for me to be able to kind of communicate with you guys a little bit better, because there's a lot of questions that go on in the community, and so I figured, you know, like once a month or however frequently you guys want it to be, can answer your guys' questions. This is a great spot for it. And for future videos, if you don't know, if there's any questions you have that are not answered in this video or any of the previous videos, please feel free to comment them down below. I go through these right before I record the videos, so even if it was a month ago or whatever, or if you commented a day before, if I see it and it's something I think that's good for the video, or worth answering because I see it a lot elsewhere and stuff, I will answer it. So yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Nick underscore, how long do I think I'll do YouTube for, and how many subs will I obtain throughout your career? There's really no way to predict any of that stuff. I've kind of talked about it in a content creation video I've made before, and we'll put it right up here. You don't really get to choose how long your lifespan as a content creator goes for. It just depends on how long people watch you for and if they get, you know, bored or not of that content. I don't know. That's a good reason why people diversify incomes. There's a reason I do business shit behind the scenes with my brand, but I don't just stream. Like, I have a community and a team and stuff sort of thing. We do a bunch of stuff, so no way to really predict it. I'll do it for as long as I'm having fun for, but yeah, I mean, I'm having a blast with it. I don't see it going anywhere soon. I don't have a straight answer for that, but hopefully that helps. Kruz, I have a question. I'm a dude. How do you put it in extensions? I just don't know. So it depends on what kind you're getting. So there's tape-ins, there's bead, and then there's also, I believe, tracks. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a bunch of different methods, but tape-ins, you quite literally just tape on the top of the hair, and they have to use an adhesive to get it out, and they can put it back up top. Bead-in, they glue a bead onto a chunk of hair, and then they flat crimp it down, and then tracks, they sew into your hair. So just depends on what you're getting. Yeah, there's whole videos on it. Really recommend looking at them. Why did I choose a dragon as my logo? So I'll get out a shot here. I'm hoping he goes. Aha, yes, Fred. My dragon is indeed my logo. Well, he's inspired by it, rather. I wanted something minimalistic. I've always liked medieval fantasy. Fred's been a huge staple for me since I started streaming. His backstory is I made him in high school with my friend Hannah, and it was our junior year, and it was for the fall play, and her and I were the co-set designers. So I would make like blueprint mock-ups, and then Hannah and I would work together to figure everything out, and then we'd have a meeting with the teacher that ran theater, and so I came up with a blueprint, and as a joke, I put at the top of the fireplace a dragon head, and I was like, there's no way we can really make this, but this is a really cool idea, so screw it, I'll put it down on the blueprint. And then he asked me about it. He's like, but can you guys do this? And I was like, I don't know. And Hannah was like, I think we can. We'll try it. Screw it. I was like, okay, we can do that. A lot of paper mache was used on him. A lot of drying, a lot of waiting, and then putting things on when it was dry, a lot of testing things. It was really fun. It was a really good time. And yeah, so still have Fred. Still have him back there. But yeah, that's the inspiration for my logo. I love dragons and medieval stuff. I'm big if you know what DDO is, it's inspired by D&D, very D&D based. Q&A, please tell us about the beginning of your streaming. I know a bit about it as I've been watching for like 5 years. Well, hey, Spencer Williams, I really appreciate that, dude. Also, could you talk more about mental health? We talked about some honestly, tell me a bit. I would say honestly depends on the mental health question that you have, because that's such a wide variety of things that I could go into. So if you have another question, I'll try and catch it next time, or if anybody else does with mental health, I can try and look at it. But it's such a wide variety, like, topic. That could be its own whole video, you know, and even if you choose a specific topic. So hopefully that helps. I'll keep an eye out for it. But in regards to your first question, so I had watched, I found out about streaming from The Crew. Their contract with MLG back in 2013, 2014 was up, and they went over to Twitch, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I lurked and I watched streams for all of 2014. And I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll do it myself. And I was a junior in high school at the time. So 2015, I was going into, fall of 2015, I was going into my senior year. In the summer, it was May 2015 is when I made my account. I started streaming for the first time in June. I didn't use a cam for like 6 months or something like that. I didn't use one for a long time. You know, I was worried about like, oh, you know, getting found out and things like that. So I did it. It was fun. It was super enjoyable. And after I started on my console, I had no cam. I used my shitty Xbox mic. I was playing Minecraft, Call of Duty, and I played a little bit of Smite with my buds kind of as a joke. It was interesting. And we played, I did that. I streamed like once every week or every 2 weeks. Like I didn't do it too frequently. I didn't take streaming seriously until November of 2015. And I started to stream almost every day. I had a set schedule for the most part. And I finally ended up turning on my camera later on in that year. But I used to stream off a dual core laptop and it was rough. I burnt out my laptop doing that. Dual core laptops not meant for streaming and not even gaming. I should not have been able to do anything with that, but it was a nice little place to get away. Didn't really have any friends due to circumstances. I could go into that at a later date. Really bad situation I was in high school, to put it shortly, and so I was very lonely, and I gamed all the time. I was like, streaming looks fun, might be a good way to make friends. Yeah, that was the start of my streaming career, more or less. Lunatic Cash 55 Q&A, what music do I listen to? I listen to a little bit of everything. I would definitely say I like the rock genre. I like classic rock, pop rock, 80s rock. I like alternative rock. You know, there's like indie rock, things like that. I like more rock stuff. I really like electric guitar, but I do listen to a bit of everything. So, Will Kosnahan, am I planning to dye my hair and cut my hair again soon? If so, what are your ideas you have? So I am actually stuck between 3 or 4 hair colors right now. I don't know what to do. So I was like, do I do one? Do I do multiple? I can't decide. I can't decide what dang color I want. So I decided, well, since I can't decide, maybe I can incorporate something with chat. So I don't normally do sub goals, but since I can't decide and everything, I was like, well, we'll do a sub goal with chat on my Twitch stream. And when we hit that, I'll put the options I'm looking at getting and have chat decide out of what they are. So soon, maybe. It just kind of depends on when we hit it. Garrett, for the next Ask Kruz, will Taylor be in more videos? I watched him on Twitch and he was seeing his face. Taylor's doing good. He's loving his job. He's in some programming, security, IT stuff sort of thing. Anyways, it's kind of hard. He does like several jobs in one position. Taylor doesn't really like to be on camera. He likes to be on camera when he likes to be on camera. I know we've talked about maybe filming some stuff once we get our own place. In the future, maybe like kind of doing a mashup of weekly things or thoughts or little projects in the future. That's probably quite a ways away still. Yeah, I don't really care to do the whole vlogging thing. I kind of feel uncomfortable with that. So maybe I'll end up getting more comfortable with it in the future if we do something like dedicated. So we could do an Ask Kruz in the future for it. I feel like I would have to plan it a little bit better so you guys know, because again, his mood could change for the day that I go to record it or something. So it just depends. He's not a big camera person anymore. The flipped camera comment has always been a question of mine. This is from Peace7904. Why do YouTubers and streamers mirror their cameras so often? So, okay, this is why. When you're talking to your camera, you're looking at your monitor a lot, or if you're going to look at chat out of the corner of eye, normally we have our cameras and stuff right by our chat, or when we're talking, looking at it, things like that. And mine's on my right, so I can see it out of the corner of my eye. When you're going and you're doing hand motions and things, it's a lot easier to understand what you're doing and feel like you're kind of talking to someone else with that way, and so you don't hit things. So I actually had originally, when I started streaming, didn't have my camera mirrored, and the amount of times I would smack my fucking mic was absolutely ridiculous. I hated it. But it's kind of like, and Jason actually responded to it, put it really well, so I'll read his comment in response to this. It's kind of the same as when you're taking a selfie or you're filming yourself with the front camera. It's easier to adjust yourself because of the movement on your phone and device, and it feels like the same to you as you were doing in real life. Tilt the face to the right, head goes to the right, same as the right on your screen. However, when it's not mirrored, that's how a second person perceives you. It's like it's supposed to be, but you have some type of dissonance, which is 100% a thing. It's really hard to fight when you're recording yourself that way. So if you're talking to your chat a lot and things like that, and especially depending on your peripheral vision, it's really hard. But Jason explained it perfectly. Hopefully that kind of helps. Hey, TJ Flat Takers, my question would be, what did you do before YouTube and Twitter? I was in high school when I started streaming and doing YouTube. I had a job at a fast food place, and I was in high school, and then I didn't receive money, and I wouldn't turn on it, because like you couldn't for Twitch for the longest time, but I didn't put on like a donation or a tip panel because I just didn't want to do that. So people finally pestered me about it. after a long time. And when I burnt my computer, I used to lug my dad's PC tower out onto the area in my living room in the basement where I was able to stream, and I would hook my monitors back up, and I would hook up my camera and the keyboard that I had, and like I would hook everything up so that I could stream. And then if my dad had to work or tell me he had to work all of a sudden, I would go set it back all up for him. So it was a bitch to do all the time. And so I finally was like, you know, on top of my job, which I didn't have time for much after school. Finally, after it started catching up with school, I was like, I'll just put a donation goal up, which was in end of January of 2016. And I was like, okay, I'll put it up. And I still remember his name. Boxer helped fund my computer. I needed like $500 left, so I was able to go get a gaming rig. I went like literally the next week. I remember freaking out and I ran upstairs and I told my parents, I was like, I can build my computer, that I was really wanting to. So I went the next week and I built my computer, and I was very excited. So then I had my gaming streaming rig with that, my own desktop, because I always used my dad's because he games too. He got me into it. But I kept tips up and stuff, and I was making enough that I could pay for my textbooks and for what I had left to pay off after scholarships for college. So I did that. And then I was either going to get hired out by a computer science company and work there, or I was going to go ahead and stream full time and move in with my boyfriend, who had been doing Taylor at the time, 1.5 years of long distance. And I was like, well, I feel like it's a waste to not try that. Yeah, that was prior to doing content creation full time. Oh, Joshua, Nathan, now that Subnautica Below Zero is released, we'll be seeing you play it. So I'm actually doing a playthrough right now. I am streaming on Twitch. Any of the gaming stuff you see most of the time has originally come from there, if you did not know. It's always linked down below. Everything's always the same as YouTube, but I'm currently playing it. We just put the first video, the playthrough, up, and it's going really well. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. What do I check the most for Q&A questions, Instagram or YouTube? 100% I check these videos. Narrator9207Gamer, and this was for anybody else. I've done the Instagram Q&A thing, but there's a lot. The weirdos of the internet tend to swarm to Instagram. That's like honestly a big reason I'm not overly active on there. You can't really weed them out until it happens. And so the Q&A feature on there, I do it sometimes once in a blue moon, but I prefer YouTube. It's easier to keep those guys away when it happens. The filter catches them 99% of the time. And so I don't have to deal with them, and I can easily block them from YouTube then. Would I dye my hair pink? I highly doubt that, Joseph Garcia. That's like it would be hard for me to ever dye my hair pink. It would be hard for me to ever dye my hair blue. Pink, I just don't think would look right on me, aside from maybe like a rose gold. And blue, there's a lot of negative memes and connotation that tend to go with blue hair. So I kind of try to stay away from that stuff. And so I feel like as cool as like dark, deep blue hair would be, I don't really want to touch that blue hair meme with a 10-foot pole. Question, how do I deal with stress and anxiety? Shit's been hitting pretty hard lately. Wondering if you have any pointers and suggestions. Chris, I really recommend, if you have access to a therapist, to see one, or a school counselor. But Shiva and Taylor help a lot. But I will definitely be one to say that with the bigger I've grown, the more negative things that have gone on, and as a girl, really bad things. And I don't really care to get into detail about it. But I definitely need it, and things that I've had happen in my life that I haven't really dealt with, that I deal with on my own, and that's not always a good thing. So detox from the internet, though, that's a big thing. I feel like a lot of people feel like pressured to be on the internet and look at it all the time, and it's very overwhelming, especially the BS we all kind of get fed from every single person all the time, or whatever gets pushed to us in our feed. So take time off from the internet. That makes a big difference. But therapy really, really helps as well. And then if you have friends that even listen to you, to having people that you can vent to once in a while. Hopefully that's a little bit helpful tidbit. I cannot dance, Luke McCoy. I cannot dance. No, not to. I would have to learn, but I can't dance to save my damn life, dude. Yeah, that's actually why I didn't dance on TikTok. It's not because I like gaming. It's just because I'm too good of a dancer, man. That if I danced on TikTok, man, I'd be coming for their thrones. I would get in trouble. Whew, the cat's out of the bag. I'm actually that good of a dancer. thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, again, as I asked earlier in the video, comment your questions down below that you guys have that you would like me to discuss and answer in the next video. Any questions you guys have, story-specific things. I know there's kind of some more that I asked for clarity on because it's hard to address a lot of things, but hopefully that helps. I hope you guys had a good day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good evening, Stinkies. Don't forget to sub and like down below as well on top of commenting. So, I need a haircut. Bye.